wrestling news this week. The Royal Rumble happened.
Yes.
The Royal Rumble
wow.
occurred. Yeah, that was on a Saturday, which I said that's unusual. They're used to doing pay-per-views on Sundays. That's why my whole week has been screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was on Saturday, and I saw pretty much the entire thing while on the phone with Rudy and Jazz. It was interesting. I've never seen a wrestling event that way. It was a very lackluster Royal Rumble. Dare I say, very unentertaining.
Yeah, I saw your tweets about it.
I feel like I didn't
Unentertaining.
even hear any hype about this one at all. I feel like there's usually like advertisement, you see things, ads. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I've been busy, but
No, that's the way WWE is now. It's kind of just like, hey, stuff happens.
we're doing this on this date. Come maybe if you want.
Dude, I'm a wrestling fan, and I forget when their big pay-per-views are.
Damn.
Me. So it was a lackluster Royal Rumble. The sad thing is, it did have some cool moments. It really did. First match of the night, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Real good match. There's a lot of history there, a lot of story. Roman wins, or Roman lost, but by DQ, so he's still champion. Then they go into the Women's Rumble, which was pretty cool. You had a lot of, surprises in there. Melina, you guys remember Melina? She was in there. She was number 2, I believe. Sasha Banks was number 1. We also got to see Lita, like I mentioned before. Lita was going to be in there. Molly Holly, as Mighty Molly, was in there. And Mickie James, which I did announce earlier, was going to be in the Rumble. She showed up with the Impact Knockouts World Championship, which was exactly what I wanted, where she came in with a title from a different wrestling promotion and promoted it on WWE. I was very excited about that. Very happy to see Mickie James get in there and get that spotlight, and get the spotlight for Impact. So that happened, and then exactly what I predicted on this podcast happened. Ronda Rousey entered the Royal Rumble, and she won.
Of course.
What a surprise.
Wow.
What a surprise. Because she is the female Brock Lesnar. Now, later on, there was another match where we had Edge and his wife Beth Phoenix go up against The Miz and his wife Maurice in a mixed tag match. They had a couple cool spots here and there. Maurice actually did some wrestling moves unheard of, but she did it. It was entertaining. It was okay. After that, we had the men's Royal Rumble match. And boy, when I tell you, that was some shit. It was bad. So we had Johnny Knoxville, as I mentioned, was going to be in the Rumble. He was in there. And he got eliminated by Sami Zayn, which I was very excited about since he made Sami Zayn look like shit for the past 3 or 4 weeks. So Sami Zayn eliminated him. Kofi Kingston, I don't know if you guys are aware, always has like this cool like spot at the Royal Rumble where he does something where he should get eliminated and he doesn't, where once he jumped on a chair and because his feet didn't touch the ground, he's not eliminated. Then he started using it as like a pogo stick to jump back into the ring. Another time he was doing a handstand because his feet didn't touch the ground. He walked himself back to the ring. Once he had Big E from the New Day catch him, and he did. Another time he was caught, and then Xavier Woods threw pancakes on the floor so he could step on the pancakes and go back to the ring. It's always something cool. This year, he got thrown off the top rope, jumped over, and went to grab the rail where the fans are at, and he grabbed it, but his feet hit the ground, and they blew the spot, and it was very sad, very upsetting. So the Kofi spot didn't work this year, which, it was bound to happen.
He didn't get away.
It sucks. Yeah, he didn't get away. And then it's like you could tell some of the referees are trying to pull it off, and it was like, nah, man, we all saw it. You can't. And it sucks because a lot of people were on Twitter. They're kind of like making fun of it, and Kofi's just like, hey, man, I'm happy I tried. Yeah. It is what it is. Like, it was bound to happen. Next time I'll come up with something cool. I am what I'm still fucking Kofi Kingston.
You win some, you lose some.
Don't you dare forget it.
What?
Exactly.
What?
Also, Bad Bunny was in there again. And
The singer?
yeah, this is his second time appearing at a Royal Rumble pay-per-view.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He was in WrestleMania last year.
I feel like he's always on that
Eslam,
show.
that's blasphemy. You stop. Bad Bunny is the greatest entertainer to wrestle in WWE history. He's that damn good. So, I'm sorry. When he showed up, me and the rest of the world were very excited to see him.
It's because he's Puerto Rican.
No, not even. I would have held that against him. Like, I have to, because I know a lot of my people are going to be happy that you're there. I have to bring it. I have to equal it out. I have to level it out. But I was like, he truly is a diehard fan, and he actually trained before the WrestleMania match to give it his best, and he was doing really good moves. So I was anytime he wants to show up, me and the rest of the fans were happy. He got our blessing. But
so he actually
so
could
he was in
wrestle
there.
like
he hits Canadian destroyers, dude. He hits Canadian destroyers. I know that doesn't mean anything to you, but it means a lot to the rest of us. So yeah, he showed up. It was great. Another surprise in the Royal Rumble was Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Which I will get into later on. And the last person to enter this was Brock Lesnar, who I forgot to mention had a match earlier in the night with Bobby Lashley, which I mentioned on the podcast before. First time ever. They're going back and forth. Shitty match. Horrible match. One of the worst matches I've ever seen. Bobby Lashley won because Brock Lesnar had Paul Heyman, his manager guy, cheat because he's with Roman Reigns. And then Lashley won.
You sound so defeated and disappointed.
And the messed up thing is, while I was on the phone call with Rudy and Jazz, I thought to myself, I was like, and I said to them, Lesnar's going to enter the Rumble and he's going to win it. And they're like, oh, but he already had a match. I was like, no, this is Vince McMahon's way of thinking. Anything to put Brock Lesnar in the main event. So then Brock Lesnar was number 30 in the Royal Rumble and he won the whole thing. He was one of the last 4 people with Shane McMahon, Bad Bunny, and Drew McIntyre. 2 of those people are not wrestlers. The other one's a part-time wrestler.
Damn. That's crazy.
So Brock Lesnar wins because he is the male Ronda Rousey. And that was the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it sounds bad.
That was the Royal
Sounds
Rumble.
real bad.
Oh.
And then AEW this past Wednesday, yesterday, as of this recording, there was a MJF versus CM Punk match.
Oh, sounds interesting.
Arguably one of the best matches AEW's ever had. Amazing. Great storytelling. They told the story with Punk's arm was hurt, so he couldn't do his finisher. His leg was hurt, and they played off of that. MJF is being the chicken shit heel, where he doesn't want to do anything. He's running away. He's cheating every way he can. And then in the end, well, not in the end, towards the middle of the match, he actually chokes Punk out by using he rips off part of his tape and starts choking him, but is hiding it from the ref. The referee can't see it. Uh-huh. Punk passes out, loses the match. Everyone's like, oh, my God, that's Punk's first loss. This is crazy. And it's in his hometown of Chicago. This is insane. When they
Did he really pass out?
Hand, no.
Oh, shit.
Oh, when he goes to raise his hand, he drops the tape. The referee sees it.
I like how serious he took it. He's like, did he really pass out?
Oh, shit.
No, so they see the tape, and the referee's just like, oh, shit, you choked him out. We're going to restart the match, which is stupid because he just got choked out. He can't fight again. But this is wrestling, and he was perfectly fine. So they fight again. And in the end, he cheats, and he still beats CM Punk in his hometown and gives CM Punk his first ever loss in AEW in, 8 years, whatever it is.
Damn.
In Chicago.
Wow.
And I was just like, that's just building up to another match, and I can't wait. It's going to be phenomenal.
Very cool.
Another wrestling news story I have. This is the heavy one. Brian Kendrick, who had requested to be released by WWE a little while ago. He was one of the coaches backstage in NXT. Uh-huh. He got his release. They granted it to him. Then when he got his release, AEW immediately announced he's going to wrestle Jon Moxley on this week's AEW. Then shortly after that, AEW released him.
Damn.
So within 24 hours, he was released, hired, and released by another company.
Okay.
Now, there is a lot that goes into this. So he was scheduled to have the match with Mox. He was replaced by Wheeler Yuta. And the reason why is he made a couple of controversial comments many years ago, which was brought to the surface. And it was unpopular things that he said. Some of which was he stated that the Holocaust was overblown. He stated that the Zionists are part of the Illuminati and potentially reptilians. He said the Sandy Hook shooting was to start a new civil war.
Okay.
And he also had stated that 9/11 involved holograms.
Is he friends with Alex Jones? Like, what's happening?
So this really hurts me because, like, Brian Kendrick, I always liked him as a wrestler. He's very good. He's one of the people who was under Shawn Michaels' school back when Shawn Michaels first retired. He came up with Bryan Danielson. And to see him in AEW, I was like, oh my God, this is great, this, that. Then all these things come to light, and they're like, who says this shit, dude?
Okay, first of all, how many years ago was this said?
This was 2011 and 13, and a couple years spliced in here and there.
Dude, that's
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
I know.
10 years. I don't give a fuck what he said 10 years
I'm
ago. Did he say
I'm
this shit
afraid
now?
to look at my MySpace 10 years ago.
He's
Like, I don't. It's probably a lot of dumb
It's
shit.
like-
I know where you guys are coming at.
It's like
For the most
people
part, I
can
do
change
agree.
after 10 years, man. Like,
Exactly.
if he's not that same person, it's just like, just let it go.
For the most part, I agree. But if you're looking at it from Tony Khan's point of view, from AEW's point of view, all this literally just came to light. A bunch of people are saying all this shit. AEW has so much good going for them. And they're still a new company. You can't risk it. I get where he's coming from. Brian Kendrick did issue an apology. It states, I apologize for all the hurt and embarrassment I have caused with my words. These are not my beliefs and never were beliefs of mine, and I crossed the line. I spread the most vile comments without thinking of damage it would cause. I will live with this regret for the rest of my life. I'm truly sorry for the pain I have caused. Those were 2 tweets, yes.
The crazy shit he said was
it was video of him doing it.
Oh, so it's video of him actually saying that crazy shit?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
it's
but was
video.
he like in character? Like what? Like
No.
what was?
He was being interviewed.
Oh, God.
Oh, dang. I don't know. That's kind of tough, actually.
Yeah, he was not in character at all.
I-
Like,
it-
don't get me
even
wrong.
if-
I get
even
what you're
if not,
saying. It's
yeah.
one of
It's
those
one
things
thing
where
like Kevin Hart where he like said he tweeted some shit 10 years ago and they like caught him, like they brought it up, but like on an interview,
No, this is straight up
in an
on
interview
video.
where it's you like saying like the Holocaust ain't
Even if it's
shit,
in an
like
interview,
that's
like,
crazy.
It's 10 years, man. 10 years. Like, you
So
know
the
what
way I'm
happens
looking
in
at
10
it-
years?
The way I'm looking at it is right now, this just came out. Putting him in this match, it's not going to be a good look. I get that.
Yeah.
He did issue his apology, and you're absolutely right. It's been like 10 years.
Listen, I
So
don't.
I would wait a bit, and then if he's still a great wrestler, he's still a great backstage hand, a great coach. It would be to anyone's value to use this guy, right? So I get it. You let him kind of like pay his dues, and then you can welcome him back into the thing. He did state these were never my views. Now, is he just saying that, or does he truly mean it? That only he knows, you know.
Listen, I'm not. I don't care about this guy. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I'm not defending him or what he said.
Yeah.
I'm against the cancel culture of canceling.
Who said he
someone.
got canceled? Nobody.
No, but like this is part of
mean,
canceling,
he
right?
did get
Stuff
fired
comes out
twice.
10
He
years
did-
ago, and then
That's
instead
not
of
being.
having,
Nobody's saying like you're not welcome anywhere. Like they said, hey, this is out. This is big. This is here right now. You can't be here right now.
Yeah, but
They
this
let
is
him
part
go
of
because
what
of it,
cancel
though.
culture
That's like part of
does,
being
though,
canceled.
right?
Who's to say that he's not? Who's to say he's not going to come back? When you're canceled, you're gone.
I didn't
Right?
say-
You're
I mean, you
gone.
could
No,
get
no,
uncanceled, but he was definitely canceled.
no,
This
that-
is not
th-
being canceled. No.
Yeah, he was canceled. Yeah, this is
All right,
this
we,
is what
we,
happens.
We're going to
Listen,
disagree, but okay.
Like he said shit. It came out that he said shit 10 years ago. So like they're like, oh no, this is not good publicity. We're gonna not hire you or we're gonna fire you. Right? They released him. Right? That's being canceled. That's like literally what canceling is. Just because people aren't up in arms, they just beat them to it.
I mean,
because
don't
they're
get me
like,
wrong, a lot of people are, but yeah.
okay, so you got people up in arms, and then they were like goodbye. Now, does this mean he can come back? Sure. I mean, I don't know. He could come back. He couldn't. But right now, he got canceled, right? It might not be in the same level as other people got canceled, but this is cancel culture, which I don't like. And it's just very annoying that, like, people can't make mistakes and then learn from them and then just move forward.
I mean, this is still too early to tell. That
Yeah.
probably is going to be the case, but okay.
I'm sure
continue.
you're right. I'm not arguing that point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't like what, like, the internet has given the voice of the minority such power to, like, end people's careers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm sure he could come back. I don't know. You're the wrestling expert. Like you said, he's probably gonna come back later. But what happened to him is cancel culture. And
It was the right call.
It sucks.
Like,
Was
it
it?
was definitely the right call.
I-
You're running a company,
Yeah.
and you have all this bad publicity. You're going to be like, oh, that's great. You said all this horrible shit. Come on, let's go.
It's just
Regardless
be
if you
like-
said
hey,
it
be
10
like,
years
hey-
ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago,
Be
you
like,
said
hey,
it.
I'm not that person anymore. I made mistakes. I learned from my mistakes, and I grew. as a
You're
person.
right. They put this guy on TV. Everybody turns off TV. They don't do it. They boo him out the thing. Nobody wants to watch it. Your product just dies.
I just think it's so dumb because it's like if you didn't know that, it's like, oh, he's a great wrestler. He was literally about to make all types of hype, and all of a sudden you dig up some shit he said 10 years ago, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this guy. I don't know.
I agree with you guys. I agree with you guys. Just
Yes.
because he said some shit 10 years ago and he's paying for it now, it sucks. But hey, it's from the company's point of view, it is the right call.
I wouldn't have.
Nah, I think
If
You're putting your company at risk at that point.
They should have just like put him on the back burner to let it cool off a little because it's an investment. You know, they go up and they go down.
It's just if I know the person closely, like let's say if it's a person I work with and like 10 years ago they said some shit and I know this person personally and some shit comes up and now it's just like I'm be like, no, listen, this could have been him 10 years ago. This is not him now. He's grown. We're gonna move forward with this. Like it is what it is. Like you don't get to control my company. It's my company. You don't want to watch it?
A lot of people could change in 10 years too.
You can't do that with the entertainment company. You can't tell people it's fine. Don't watch my company when my company is based off of you watching it.
There's gonna be people tuned in. There's no way people weren't. There's no way everybody was not gonna tune in just for that, just because they had him on. It's not like he fucking raped somebody. Like this is something completely different.
No, I get where you're coming from.
It's just like the reason why this cancel culture keeps working because these companies keep folding to these people, and these people, most of these companies that are on cable television are more beholden to their ads, like their ad revenue, than to the people watching, right? So they care more about. So if maybe they got pressure from their ad people or whatever, they're like, don't. I can kind of understand that, but it's at the same time, it's like, hey, we'll get new ads. Like you got to stand up for it, and you will get hurt a little bit, but like we got to stop this nonsense. Like it's getting too annoying.
I don't know. Like I said, I feel like it's all right. I feel like they did the right call. I still think he has the potential to come back. He just has to. He's basically what he's doing. He's paying his dues for something he did a bunch of years ago. He should have probably paid his dues that many years ago. It didn't happen, so he's paying his dues now.
Hey man,
that's the way I see it.
At least I can speak for myself. I probably made a couple of bad jokes.
Everyone,
I feel like we all have, a little too far.
We're almost at 300 episodes on this podcast.
Yeah,
I'm sure I made some really bad jokes in the beginning.
We all have.
So someone, let's say we get popular and someone digs that shit up, like.
Eslam's a racist.
It's just like what? Now I'm not gonna be able to be on the podcast for a little bit. Well, fuck out of here! Don't listen. We're
gonna have to separate ourselves from you to save face because
we're gonna replace you with just a picture of you but beardless.
We're gonna get another Egyptian.
There is no such thing unless it's a baby picture.
Beardless. You're beardless a few times. I have pictures.
No, you don't.
Pictures.
Liar.
Pictures. I still have your books. I still have your books.
Oh, okay. That's in high school. I have those too.
All right. I do have one last story.
Okay.
So people have been getting released by WWE left and right? The most recent one that was released from Vince McMahon's company is Shane McMahon. His son has been released on WWE.
Wow. That's hilarious.
Nobody's safe. Dude, I swear to God, Vince has dementia. Like, I don't know what's happening, but like either he's laundering money and he's just like about to like take a lot of money and dip. Like some shit is happening.
So this was 100% the right call. Remember how I said the Royal Rumble was horrible, especially the men's Rumble?
Oh, that was all Shane.
It was being produced by Shane McMahon.
Damn.
Shane McMahon hasn't like been a quote unquote employee of WWE for many, many years. He was just there. Like they would use him for storylines. He was more of a talent than a backstage person. They started every once in a while he'll transition and do some backstage stuff. So he was doing this. Now apparently the rumors are that he was a nightmare backstage. He tried to book the entire Royal Rumble around him. he buried Jamie Noble, who was one of the backstage like people who former wrestler who like produces and does stuff backstage. So he was just talking shit about him the whole time he's back there. He was going to try to build a match between, this story keeps changing, between he and either Seth Rollins or Bobby Lashley into WrestleMania. So, like, basically he was just like, I'm going to go in the Royal Rumble, I'm going to make it about me, and I'm going to build for my match to Mania. The rest of you guys are just there to support me in this match, like a true McMahon. Now, while this was happening, a lot of people were upset, a lot of people were complaining. Bad Bunny, they didn't even know which number he was going to go in because Shane McMahon kept on changing everything. And they were just like, listen, we like Bad Bunny a lot. He brings in a lot of money. You're upsetting him too. Like, you're already upsetting all of us. Now you're upsetting like a guy who's bringing us good publicity. Like, we can't have this. So he was like, since he doesn't technically work for the company, he wasn't fired. He was kind of just like let go by Vince. And Vince told the writers like, hey, just stop working on storylines for Shane. They're like, why? He's like, don't worry about it. Just don't write any stories for Shane. Just
like, I'll take care of this.
You know, we'll do whatever.
Calls him up. You're fired.
And
be like,
there was a rumor going around that some WWE officials backstage have stated that they have issued a warning to AEW about picking up Shane McMahon.
That's funny.
And now it's not necessarily like some people might think it's like, don't you pick up Shane because we're going to come at you. No, the warning was Shane was such a fucking mess backstage. You guys don't want to deal with him. Trust me. That was the warning.
That's hilarious.
They were just like, whatever he was dealing with at WWE is probably going to be multiplied by 10 in AEW. So for your sake, don't get him. Just let him be his own person right now.
See, at this point, you're like, if WWE really wanted AEW to fail, they'd be like, yo, take him. He's really good.
You can have Shane.
Yeah. He's good. We let him go because, you know, he needed to spread his wings, and I'm just giving him that chance. But he's really good. You should take him. Wink, wink. You know.
So there's a whole thing, but supposedly WWE did that many years ago in the Monday Night War, and that's why WCW isn't a company anymore. They did that with one of their writers, Vince Russo, supposedly.
Damn. That's crazy.
But yeah, and well, Shane's not in WWE, at least for now. So that is my wrestling news.
Never liked Shane.
He's great. He was great.
Never enjoyed him.
That's it. He was all right. He's got those weird punches. Rudy was so excited to see him. I was.
Of course he would be.
Well, it's Shane. Everybody likes Shane. You're like the one guy.
I don't like Shane.
People like
Shane. I also
Shane.
didn't like that British wrestler.
Which one? They're all great. William Regal?
Yeah.
Go to hell. William Regal's a
I never
saint.
enjoyed him.
Man, we'll put on brass knuckles and just knock people out. He kissed Vince McMahon's ass. He did that for us.
Of course he did. Yeah.
He did that for us.
Didn't like him either.
The power of the punch, he called it.